absolutely made this writing journey worth doing. There were some great points in the reviews that I was seeing early on, with this being my debut epic fantasy, that made me realize I was missing the mark on a couple key aspects of my writing and publishing, and that is what made me decide to go this route with recovering, re-releasing, expanding the book. And I want to touch on some of those for you guys today. So if you're an author and you're wondering, should I re-release? Should I recover? Should I just re-upload a new interior file? These are all great questions, and they are highly personal. I really recommend going to authors, this is what I did as well, within your community, who can help give you targeted feedback about whether or not your book needs a complete overhaul, scrap the whole thing, re-release it as a brand new novel, if it only needs a new cover, or if it only needs a new interior. So what I did was take reviews from readers who were reading it early on, reviews from readers who are reading it currently, and advice from fellow authors who I'm going to share some of today, and decided that it was time to release the expanded edition as an entirely new edition altogether. The first main reason that I decided to rebrand is because I was getting comments and messages and reviews that were like, this is a little too mature to be YA, which surprised me because it was never meant to be YA. It was meant to be new adult, aimed at that 18 to 23, where you've already grown up, you know who you are, but you're trying to establish yourself as sort of an adult, right, in the world, and deal with themes of your new role in a family when you are now in charge of your own life, and just some aspects of that new adult side. And I realized looking at the cover that the cover does seem, especially right now, hey Matthew, that the cover is beautiful as it is. And this one was designed by Jesh Art Studio Group. The link is in the bio if you'd like to see more of his work. Jesh did all my covers for the Lord's Gambit series as well. But this specific cover does have a very YA feel to it. And initially when I had it created, I wanted to show the two sides to the main character and the villain. And there's a spoiler there that I can't get into if you're going to read the whole book. But the character's face being on the cover, the colors, the pink and everything, set up certain reader expectations that this was going to be a YA book, that it was going to be a little lighter than it actually is, and that it was going to be more focused on romance when really the romance is just a side plot. There is two specific potential love interests in the book, but their journey with Arlena is not the main focus of the story. And so as a result, the expectation that readers had with that first blurb and with this first cover led them to open a book and read a story that ended up not being about what they thought it was going to be. And that's an immediate letdown, even if the story is good, if you're talking from a technical perspective. And looking back on it now that I'm a few years into self-publishing my own works and removing myself from the book as the person who wrote it and looking at it as a pitch coach or somebody who would be critiquing books, and that's what I do for a living, for other people, I can see very clearly where I missed the mark there. So I was able to readjust. I'll show you the new cover. There was a great opportunity when Self-Publishing with Dale put on a contest where MIBL Art gave a free custom cover out. So I'm super excited, and thank you to Dale and to MIBL Art. I have ordered covers from MIBL Art through them in the past, and I'm looking around to see if I have one sitting here, but I don't. My Splitting Dawn cover, that's the one that hit the USA Today bestseller list in the Realm of Darkness box set, was designed by MIBL Art, and so was the Splitting Dawn collection. So I love their work. This is the version that they have done of the new cover for The Vow That Twisted Fate. This one brings sort of the darker themes and the darker tones that are in the book more present on the cover, as opposed to here sort of that lighter, noble, bright fantasy style feel. It got rid of the character face on the cover, which is not really seen a whole lot in new adult right now, and I feel like that brings it more into the genre that it's for. And it also created some intrigue with some elements on the cover, like the dagger, the two crowns that are upside down, the angel pendant that plays a role in the story, and just lots of nice little touches that I hope will be intriguing to a reader. So they have two very different appeals. This one appeals to one kind of audience, and I hope that the new one will appeal to its target audience, but just a little better. And again, if you want to check out MIBL art for yourself, they're super affordable. They have covers under $200, under $300, and they are amazing. And what I love about working with them on my past cover experiences, like with Splitting Dawn, is that they don't charge you until you're happy with your cover. So you place your order, and then they will work with you to get it right. They really care. And I see Matthew says, I prefer the old cover. So as far as covers themselves go, I do really love this old cover. I love the pentagram in the sky. I love the two aspects of her world, which has had no evil for 500 years, compared to the evil dimension where everything evil got banished to 500 years ago, where the villain has been forced to live for 500 years. But again, I just don't feel like it speaks to the darker aspect of the story as much. And I do feel like it makes it seem like a younger novel than it was intended to be for. Now, thank you, Luna, for tuning in and thinking about the beautiful. So yeah, the main reason behind my rebrand of the cover comes from the reviews and the feedback that I got from readers. And as time went on, I was seeing my reads drop, even though it was free on Kindle Unlimited for 3 months, and a couple other things. I saw those numbers go down, which showed that the demand was not there, or I was hitting the wrong target audience. And if you're watching this as an author, don't give up on your work just because you're not seeing reads or views. But seriously, stop. If you go several months and you're just not seeing any traction, and ask, is it about the book? Are you seeing reviews? Can those reviews help steer you in the direction you need to go? The first edition received rave critic reviews, with the 5-star from IndieReader and the finalist status from the Next Generation Indie Book Awards and the 5-star Reader Favorite Award. But over time, readers' preferences change. So if you want to stay relevant and you want to stay current, you have to look at what needs to change. And no book is perfect. This was my debut novel. If you've read The Violet Twisted Fate and then you go read the writing style in Oracle of Life, which is the first book of the Lord's Gambit series, there's a tremendous difference in writing style. If you read Violet Twisted Fate and you read Splitting Dawn, there's obvious growth there in writing style. So the more you write, the better you get. And so I was able to pull out deleted scenes from the first book that I loved but didn't want to put in because I was worried about the pacing. I was able to clarify points that reviewers were saying were confusing. And I was able to adjust like how the magic system was introduced and things like that, and really sit down and give the book the time that it needed to breathe in some spots and to explain itself better in some spots in the new edition. So I have not seen reviews for the new edition yet. If you're watching and you would like to let me know what you thought of it, everybody on here knows I love open, honest reviews. They don't have to be good reviews. I mean, good reviews are great, but anything is fine. The book is available for review on Amazon and on BookBub too as well. 2 5-star reviews and 1 4-star review on my debut book I released a little over a month. That's great. That's great. So you're already off to 3 reviews and good ones. Yeah, you start slow. So The Violet Twisted Fate has been out 2 years. I didn't get over 50 reviews on Amazon just like a blink of an eye. And I'm super thankful to everyone who did take the time to read and review, because again, those reviews helped me become a stronger writer if they weren't glowing. And then obviously the book resonated the way it was with several people. But someone mentioned, how many uses of internal thoughts that I had in that book, and certain other points to how long it took to figure out how the magic system worked and where those things fell. And so when I redid the expanded edition, I was able to fix that. I was able to go read through and re-edit a whole new time. I'll try to go back and add my reviewers to the description box, but the cover designers are in there. But I was able to completely re-edit, revise. There are whole new scenes added in that have never been published before throughout the book. So yeah, I'm very excited about the opportunity to use this to actually polish up the work and put it out in a tighter fashion, because it's a book that means a lot to me. I do plan on revising this as a print edition. So right now, the original first edition, the paperbacks you see here, those are available on Amazon only. And the reason for that, I was originally going to take them down sooner, is because I'm going to go through Ingram Spark to publish the print copies of the next edition, at least the hardback copies. I may still keep my paperbacks on Amazon. I love the quality of their paperbacks. But if you want a chance to grab the first edition, the link to that is in the description box as well. I've got them marked down right now on a discount because I know the print books are a little higher. But yeah, I really want to try to put this one in bookstores as far as the expanded edition, and get it into some libraries where I knew the first edition, just in my mind, it wasn't the right time to go that route. So that's what's in the works there. But Ingram is not a fast overnight process. You cannot just throw your book up on Ingram and be like, boom, hardbacks the next day. So yeah, you guys, thank you for bearing with me as I get all of that worked out. The audiobook is still available of the first edition, and it will remain available. Talon David narrated that, and I've decided not to have the expanded edition narrated. I'll just be keeping the original edition narrated. For now, if you are an author and you've rebranded, relaunched your books, I'd love to hear your experience with audiobooks. Did you do that too? How was that? Did you work something out with the narrator? Was it starting from scratch? So the main reason I share my experiences with you guys is so that everybody can see that there's a process. You can go back in my indie author behind the scenes playlist and my self-publishing journey playlist here on this channel and see when I was like, what genre am I even going to pick for Val? What am I even going to do for this? And see the early progression, because this is a learning journey, and we learn by raising each other up and by being transparent and sharing the mistakes, the good and the bad. And there was a lot of good for the first edition, and I'm very bittersweet to see it saying its goodbyes, but it's time for the expanded edition. So thank you to Dale for sponsoring the contest, and MIBL Art for the beautiful new cover for the expanded edition. I hope as authors you found this a little helpful. If you're looking again into rebranding your own, really ask yourself why. If all you're doing is fixing some small editing errors throughout the book, you can redo your interior file without relaunching your entire book and needing a new cover. If all you need to do is change the cover, you can update the cover, I believe, on most retailers and not have to do a whole new relaunch. But if what you're seeing is that you've missed your target audience, which is sort of what I felt like I was doing here, and that as a result, the book is not being fully read, the readers are confused because there's content inconsistencies or things that could have flown better, then you need to ask yourself, maybe you should consider doing this. If your cover is for the wrong audience, you might need a new cover, even if you love the first one like I did. And ultimately ask yourself, is your book a product that you're using to sell to readers? Or is your product sort of like a passion product and you don't really care as much if it sells? Because that's the idea that I had when I started this journey. And now I want to just stay connected with readers. I'm an editor for a day job, as you guys know. I do not make a living off of my writing, but I do want the right readers to find it. So for me personally, I wanted the cover to change because it was clear that I was not connecting with the right people. And the people who were reading it were not enjoying it as much as the right target audience could enjoy it. So hopefully the new cover will pick up the interest of people who are like, oh yeah, that's the one. That looks like something I would like. there's a new blurb, hopefully that better portrays the theming of the story. And then the story itself has gotten an overhaul as well. Well, thank you all so much for joining. If you'd like to check out more about my indie journey, again, I have playlists on my channel for that. If you are here to find out about other books that are not mine, I keep a whole playlist on reviews and interview other authors and let them read their books. So yeah, I'd love for you to stick around. Give the video a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.